Hello and welcome to Scare Your Friends, the only podcast on the internet that bends down to YouTube's new policies. And that means no cursing, no talking about no talking about bro jobs, no talking about cursing, Dylan, you naughty boy. What if we have an advertisement or a...
Last time I checked, you didn't want us to have advertising stuff.
That's fair enough. Yeah, fuck that shit. Let's go.
Why would we make money off of this?
All right, so...
Even if it's pennies.
Yeah, I'm not making money off this. And if I'm not making money off this, then those fucking bastards out there don't deserve to make money off this. Anyway, today it's Scare Your Friends.
Real for a second.
A nice political intro, thank you, John.
Today on Scare Your Friends, we have today with us William. How are you doing, William?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling all right. How about yourself, John?
I'm feeling pretty fantastic.
You know
myself.
what? That is swell.
You know what? I support you. I support you, and I totally am not being sarcastic.
I don't know what you're saying. Well, we're just
Dan, how you doing?
It's artificial. I'm good tonight, John. Thank you. Very excited to be here. It's been a little bit of time. Took some time off. You know how it is. So.
Let's take time off. What were you doing?
I took time off from you fuckers.
That's fair enough. Were you shaving your wizard staff?
No, Rent Fair was awesome though. We talked about it on...
We did.
Strangled Red, I think?
At some point. It came up.
Someone's excited.
We also have Dylan here.
Hello, peoples.
Anything to add, Dylan? Guys, this isn't a visual... If you could see what Dan and William are doing right now, you would realize why every single day I record one of these, I want to shoot myself.
We're just
I was going to make mention of that, but
we're just making out a little bit. Relax.
We were just waiting patiently for our turn to speak.
Dylan, want to say something, please?
I said my piece.
Okay.
So what are we reading today, John?
We're reading Candle Cove.
But John, isn't that going to be adapted into a sci-fi original show soon?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
How apropos, then, that we are reading it.
Apropos, then?
He's right, that's the correct term.
It's a word.
Oh.
Oh,
It is?
man.
This is horrible.
No, it's fine.
No, this is actually really good.
No, it's just, it's
Stop playing with your stick.
no,
okay?
shut up. To put a little backstory into this,
I don't know if I want to hear this.
No. I'm just going to, I'm not familiar with this creepypasta at all, but I was on, I don't know, some website, and that's where I saw it, and I sent it to John. I was like, did you know about this? And of course he knew. And he got mad because now I know.
I don't get mad, but...
But yeah, no, I honestly know nothing about it, but I just found it funny.
So
like, I wouldn't
basically-
have clicked on it if it didn't say creepypasta on it.
So it's a very odd thing. On one hand, it's something that showcases creepypasta. So
Right.
the story is that on Sci-Fi, they're making this thing called
Ooh, it's
Channel...
on sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
It's on-
If you recall, they've
12
written the
Monkeys.
masterpiece, the Sharknado quadrilogy.
Yes!
So, same people.
If it's on sci-fi, it's not going to be good.
it'll
Thanks-
be
It'll be
unintentionally.
so
Unless
good,
it's-
it's that bad. That's how it's going to
Can I,
be.
Unless-
all right.
can I speak,
Alright.
at all?
No! No, you cannot!
I'm literally trying to explain this, and then you can talk about
Okay.
it.
There's just the sci-fi's
Go
bad.
ahead.
Jesus
Go
Christ.
ahead, power through it.
Okay, so they're making a thing called Channel Zero, and from what I understand, the first 6 episodes are going to be about Candle Cove, and the next 6 episodes after Candle Cove are going to be about No End House.
So wait, this is like an anthology of creepypastas?
Yes, I'm not... Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I don't know too much about it, to be honest. I haven't,
It's kind of like Tales from the Crypt, but like
Yeah.
they're doing
Well-
like one story from.
Well,
multiple
I redact
episodes.
everything I say. It's going to be bad.
No, I mean, just sci-fi makes dreck and garbage, that's all. I mean,
Yeah, but it's really good.
No,
like,
I mean,
it's intentional.
it could be, and like,
Intentionally bad.
and like, for what it's worth, 12 Monkeys, not a bad show.
So,
Actually
a
decent.
lot of people on the creepypasta community decided to talk about it, and a lot of the opinions are negative. They
Oh,
do
that's
not,
rude.
They don't think that this is going to understand what Candle Cove was all
the creepypasta
about.
community and not liking
Well-
the mainstream. What is the
Well,
problem?
no, it's not even that. It's just we talked about this when we.
Well,
did,
how about we read the story first, and then we can discuss whether we feel like this might be a good television show or episodic, whatever the hell it's going
What
to
was
be.
the podcast we did when we talked about that it was copyrighted? I can't remember which one it was. But this
That was
falls-
funny, Mouth. I was talking about the
Right. This
trademarking
falls in-
on creepypasta.
This falls into the same conflict because it was trademarked, and now it's like, well, nobody's doing anything with it, but somebody's doing something with it.
I believe the author Chris Straub is part of the
Of Candle
team.
Cove.
Okay.
Well, he made Candle. He wrote Candle Cove.
Okay.
He's
So
the
he's
author.
given his blessing to the project?
Yes.
That's
cool.
fine,
From what I
then.
understand.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But today we're going to read the original story. Now, one thing about this story that William is going to like is
Probably.
that it's a forum story. So it's all it's the internet
Internet
story.
posts. Hooray.
So, yeah. Basically, I'm not going to say too much about it. I think we should just kind of
Do I like internet post stories?
Are we,
you said you liked Funny Mouth.
Yeah, I mean, I
the
guess.
tests from the internet stories are usually
They
the
are
stronger
fun.
stories. Now I'm not trying to read ahead, but I'm noticing there are like different people posting. So are we going to do the whole?
I mean, we
Everybody
could. I
has
mean,
it.
I don't. I mean, all right. So here's what we'll do.
I don't know how many.
I'll
people
do
are in
Sky
this.
Shale 033.
Okay.
And like you'll see Mike Painter, and then different people are coming in. If you see a new character hop in, I think there might be more than 4 people. So
It looks like there's 4 exactly. Sky Shale, Kevin Hart, Jaren, and
Kevin
Mike
Hart.
Painter. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so there is actually 4 people.
okay, I'll do Sky Shale then. All right. So without further
Hold
ado,
on, should we shot
Hang
it?
on. What?
Should we shot it though? So he'll do Sky Shale. Who do you want?
Dylan
no,
has
just
to be-
let's just go as it goes.
No, let's just make it up.
No,
So
just-
Dylan has to be Kevin Hart, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dylan has to be Kevin Hart. Okay.
What?
Dan, do you want
It's
to be
Jaren or Mike Painter?
Do you want to be Jaren or Mike Painter?
I'll be Jaren.
I'll be Mike Painter then.
Okay.
Boosh.
That was easy.
So this
Kevin Hart,
story,
apparently.
Yes.
so this story takes place on a site, on a fictional site or a real site, because we're supposed to throw suspicion out the window. Net nostalgia forum, television
that makes sense.
parentheses local. So this is Sky Shell. The subject is Candle Cove, local kids TV show. Does anyone remember this kids show? It's called Candle Cove, and I must have been 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere. I think it was on a local station around 1971 or 72. What is that? Ironton? I lived in Ironton at the time. I don't remember which station, but I do remember it was on a weird time at like 4 p.m.
It seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashland and was 9 years old in 72. Candle Cove. Was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to a little girl.
So immediately, these people are old. I mean, this Mike Painter.
I mean,
guy
to
was
us,
9.
they're old.
To us, the exact.
I mean,
Well, in 19...
to us young virile
Okay,
20
all
year
right, think
olds.
about it.
To us crazy millennials.
No, this guy was 9 years old in 1972. So how old is he now? It's like, what, 40 years?
Yeah, like 50. Yeah,
He's in his 50s by now.
50.
So
I'm too lazy to
when...
do the math.
So they don't give any dates for these posts, so we don't know when they're...
Maybe. Well, it's on the... I mean, it's
Gotta
a
be
form on the
within the
internet,
last
so
5
you
years,
imagine it's in the
right?
modern
Hey,
era.
it could be the late 90s.
I mean, I guess. I don't think it matters what the...
The internet's been around at this point for close to 20 years.
Okay,
so-
well, they're
that-
talking about something that happened in the 70s.
Yeah.
So it's irrelevant what time they're talking
What I
about it right
really love-
now.
What do you really love, Dan?
About time semantics in these fucking stories.
Dude, time semantics are the best. That's where I live.
Ugh.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Yes! Okay, I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built from other parts of dolls, really low budget. His head was an old porcelain baby doll. Looked like an antique that didn't belong to on a baby. I don't remember what station this was. I don't think it was WTSF though.
Sorry to resurrect this old thread, but I know exactly what show you mean, Sky Shale. I think Candle Cove ran for only a couple of months in 71, not 72. I was 12 and I watched it a few times with my brother. It was Channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom would let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I remember.
Sorry.
It took place in Candle Cove. It was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughing Stock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. There was a I don't know that word. Calliope.
Yep.
Calliope music constantly playing. Don't remember the girl's name. Janice or Jade or something. I think it was Janice.
This is Sky Shell. Thank you, Jaron. Memories flooded back when you mentioned the Laughing Stock in Channel 58. I remember the the bow of the ship and the wooden smiling face with the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had that awful Ed Wine voice and laugh. Anyone know what Ed Wine is?
Edwin.
Edwin? Edwin?
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not old, so we don't
It
know.
sounds like a first name.
We're not fucking old,
Yeah,
stupid
we're not old
men.
people. We don't get your references.
I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched from the wooden/plastic models to the foam puppet version of the head that talked.
Haha, I remember now too. Winky face. Do you remember this part, Skyshale? You have to go inside.
Ugh, Mike. I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's what the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place that he had to go in, like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was, and the camera would push in on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside.
You shall not pass.
Shut the fuck up.
God damn it. Taking us right out of the moment.
Just power through it. Keep going.
Every fucking
Dylan's
time.
not even here.
With his two eyes askew that were flopping, and that flopping foam jaw.
Say that 3 times
It's a
fast.
shittily made puppet boat.
Flopping foam jaw, and that fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh, it looks so cheap and awful. You guys remember the villain? He had a face that was just a handlebar mustache above a really tall, narrow teeth.
Lumberjack Dan, Lumberjack
I
Dan.
don't think so.
They're cheaply made shitty puppets.
All right, Kevin Hart enters the conversation.
I honestly thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show was on. Nightmare
Can you
fuel.
please read it like Kevin Hart?
No, stop.
I don't even want Dylan to
No.
try. I don't even want
I
Dylan to
don't-
try.
I know I'll kill someone's ears.
I'm
doing
upset
that.
thinking about it.
Alright. That wasn't the villain. That wasn't the villain, the puppet with the mustache. That was the villain's sidekick. Horse Horrible. This guy remembers a lot, I guess because he was older. He had a monocle too, but it was on top of his mustache. I used to think that he meant he only had one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette, the Skin Taker. Here we go. I can't believe they let us watch that back then. Buckle in.
What were you thinking of this so far, by the way?
I think it's too early to gauge it, honestly.
I think Kevin Hart needs to jump in.
Yeah, we just got to like something interesting.
Yeah, no.
Sorry. Jesus H. Christ, the Skin Taker. What kind of kids show were we watching? I seriously could not look at the screen when the Skin Taker showed up. I can't say that word without laughing. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings, just a dirty skeleton wearing the brown top hat and cape, and his glass eyes that were too big for his skull. Christ Almighty!
The Skin Taker sounds like
The Undertaker with
no,
skin.
no, not even the Undertaker. I'm thinking of this is where mine's going. Thinking of the guy who does circumcisions.
Oh, you mean a rabbi?
Yeah, like he performs the braces.
Is this like Jewish children's
he's
television?
like, I'm the Skin Taker.
Although I guess it would be who hates on circumcisions?
Nobody really
No one hates on it.
Right, so I'm trying to think which group would try to indoctrinate them children to fear the snipping man. You know?
I mean,
Oh no!
gypsies?
No.
what?
I don't know.
Wait, no,
Clearly.
No, isn't the I'm gonna say Amish?
The Amish,
They keep the foreskin.
they gotta be
Well,
keeping those
Jewish
ears.
people
Yeah,
do
no.
too.
Did you ever think this conversation would pop
I
up,
was
viewers?
literally thinking the same thing.
You click on a Candle Cove podcast and we're talking about foreskin and Amish people.
It's a Doberman. Let it have its ears.
Will's on fire tonight. Okay.
All right.
You were rolling earlier.
Wasn't his top hat and cloak always sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be children's skin?
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close? His jaw just slid back and forth? I remember the little girl said, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the Skin Taker didn't look at the girl, but at the camera and said, "To grind your skin."
Holy shit.
Oh my god, I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had where the opening jingle ended, the show faded from black, and all the characters were there. But the camera was just cutting to each of their faces. And they were just screaming, and the puppets and the marionettes were all flailing spastically, and just all screaming and screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through hours of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it.
I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that was an episode.
No. Not possible. There was no plot or anything. I mean, literally, just standing in place crying and screaming for the whole show.
Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory because you said that, but I swear to God, I remember seeing what you described. They just screamed.
Oh God, yes. The little girl Janice. I remember seeing her shake. And the skin taker screaming through his gnashing teeth. His jaw careening so wildly I thought it would come off its wire hinges. I turned it off and it was the last time I watched it. I ran to tell my mother and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on.
I visited my mom today at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s, when I was 8 or 9, and if she remembered a kids show, Candle Cove. She said she was surprised I could remember that, and I asked why, and she said, because I used to think it was so strange that you said, I'm going to go watch Candle Cove now, Mom, and you would tune the TV to static and watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had such a big imagination with your little pirate show.
And that's that.
That's it?
That's Candle Cove.
That's it? I don't know. Was anyone picturing the guy from Raiders of the Lost Ark just having his whole face getting melted after opening the
I can
chest?
see it now that you're saying it.
Just going, and the jaw unhinged.
Yeah. That movie's rated PG. Think about that.
I'm coughing a lot. I'm so sorry.
That's
it's just,
right.
Yep, you're ruining it.
Because you're sick of us.
Yeah, really. I don't know why. It's something that caught me back in my throat.
Whatever.
This reminds me of, what was the third one we read? The third creepypasta?
No End House.
No End House.
No.
No.
Okay, the fourth. Oh, Barbie.avi.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that, where like it
Your
builds
favorite.
up... One of my favorites. Where it builds up like an interesting idea and was like, LOL, we'll just drop this and end the story here.
Yeah, but I feel like at least this had some kind of closing, I guess.
Well, here's the scary thing, and this is what took me a while to get. Because at first it seems a bit underwhelming. That's what I kind of thought at first. But I understand why people really like this story, because these are random people online having these different memories of a show.
But it's all the same.
And now it's all this static thing.
Right, this like collective unconscious thing that didn't actually exist, but everyone remembers it.
Right.
It's a cool concept, but it doesn't really go anywhere in the story.
Yeah. Yes.
But I think the reason why it doesn't go anywhere is because of the way the story is presented. Because
Exactly.
how can you have an actual story with a plot structure when it's just a bunch of people posting about not even what's going on in real time, but about their memories of something that happened?
It's an internet collective having the same or similar memories, and then
Right.
only finding out that it was all potentially, or however you want to interpret the story, it was all just them either imagining it, or is it something more sinister?
And it's kind of cool because they didn't have the internet when they were kids.
Right.
So it's like they couldn't verify
couldn't,
the
yeah.
show. Right. So that it makes sense in that. It has elements of the Russian sleep experiment. Because it's in a different time period where it's sort of technology and resources are
Now,
limited.
on one hand, some people criticize the story for saying it's too short. But then you look at something like The Strangest Security Tape, which that one went way too long. So did this one end prematurely like Barbie.avi potentially, or did it end just on point?
Well, that depends on whether or not the author, he or she clearly ran out of ideas at this point.
Or maybe that was the intent.
Is
Maybe that
do
was
we have an author?
I think it's a Hey Chris, right? You said?
Chris Straub is his name.
Could be a girl.
No, it's
Possible.
a dude. I know
Our
it's
cis male fantasy. No, like I said before, I think because of the structure of the story, I think it ends logically. I think it's fine. I
don't
wish
know.
there was more.
I'm not convinced that this author ran out of ideas. I think
No, I don't think so
he
either.
had an idea what he wanted to do, and I think that ending is a strong. It's a solid point to end on. Like, this is like, my goal is to get from here to point A to point B, and point B is the static, and that's how I want to end.
Right.
So maybe it's not a lack of ideas. Maybe it's just I want to make a simple story. And...
Well, I think, we're still. This is our 20th episode.
Oh my God! Stop it.
But no,
John gets very upset.
No, but I think at this point we've read such a swath.
That's why
There was another good word
Yeah.
for that. High five for that one.
I do words good.
Oh my god. I think we still read of such a swath of stories that have one definitive ends or inconclusive ends or ends with a lot of interpretation. This is just such a wide, dynamic range of stories. So I think, like I
Right.
said,
Well, that's what creepypasta
Right.
is an umbrella term
Right.
for a lot of
But I
different
think-
things.
but
It's
I-
not something strict.
But like I said, I think that the way it really, to me, the way I can gauge a creepypasta, like I'm getting the gist of this, where it's like, to me, it's based on how the story is presented. And like I said, I think the way the way this story is presented, it's fine.
I disagree.
I do want more, though. I do want more.
All right, let's hear William real quick.
I
No,
mean,
I want to hear you.
I mean, just that in the sense that I feel like I think of Funny Mouth when I see a structure like this, where a story is comprised entirely of emails and internet chat room exchanges.
But Funny Mouth was happening.
It also was happening
in
in
the moment. Right?
Okay.
It was happening in
I
real
mean,
time.
Like in real
that
time,
being
sorry.
said, I think that was a better choice to have it happening in real time, because you know what the biggest problem with the story is? It's not the length, it's not the format, and it's not the idea. The problem with the story is that there's no tension at any point whatsoever,
You're right,
because
yeah.
it's something that happened 40 years ago,
And it doesn't.
and who
there's
cares
nothing
anymore?
after that.
Well, it's a
You're right.
Well,
and I was
it's
thinking
it's
the
a
same
bunch
thing.
of people coming together to remember something that happened, some creepy thing that happened in their childhood. There's nothing scary about this creepypasta. It's creepy.
There's nothing scary or
It's creepy and
no, it
creepypasta.
doesn't have to be scary.
It's like-
but a story needs some sort of emotional arc, whether that's tension or investment in the characters, and this has none of it. Creepypastas generally, what we've read at least, rely on tension. They're horror. They're meant to creep you out or be scary and make you feel uncomfortable. This is like a bunch of old people getting together being like, dude, I saw the show and it was weird and gross. And the next guy's
Why
like,
is
dude,
fucking
me
weird?
too. And you're
Well,
sitting
I
here
mean,
and you're like,
I don't
huh.
think that's how they're doing. They're going about.
I'm
it.
being
That's-
hyperbolic
I
to make
agree.
my point.
Right, I get it.
But obviously it's written better than that. But even the big reveal is that, so 40 years ago these kids were
Right.
a little wackadoo.
And nothing- and
That's
nothing
something.
happened.
Looks
But
like
they
they're
were
all fine
whack.
now.
Here's the thing, though. These are all different people living in different locations that can't collaborate a story together. Yet they're all agreeing with this.
And it's supposed to be local TV.
I agree. But the crux of it is, it's just, that's a weird thing that happened long
Right.
ago.
He's right. There's
Yeah,
no.
that's
there's
fine.
No
But
tension.
that's part of it.
It's very milk
No, I agree. No, I agree with William. I think that this is I think this story, honestly, it got a lot. It just got popular for some reason. I don't honestly know how.
Dylan.
But a lot of stories came about this, and of course this new Channel Zero thing, which I'll discuss in a bit. But Dylan, why don't you
We
talk
can
about
get to
this?
that.
This is like
Hold on,
to add
let's hear Dylan. Let's hear
We're all
Dylan.
To add on to what Will was saying, it's like having four random people around the same age talking about monsters in the attic. That was on in the 90s. Something like
Yeah.
I was creeped out by that
Yeah.
show. But it's like reminiscing about something like that.
Right.
It's like what was so creepy? Like 90s, like what was so creepy about it now? I mean, as a kid,
Right.
it was creepy, but now I'm like,
Well,
Like,
that's
oh,
the
that was
thing.
kind of creepy.
Well, here's
but
the thing with
nothing
this.
happened after
yeah,
that.
nothing happened.
The thing with this story is there's nothing fundamentally scary. What happens is you're remembering something that happened already, and you're piecing it back together. And it's supposed to be just kind of creepy. And now with it, imagine
40
if you're in.
years?
Here's the thing, though. Imagine if you are one of these characters, like really, and like you hear this revelation that it was all static. Like, do you believe it right away? Maybe like, I don't know if it's better if they added some stuff on the end. Like, no
exactly.
way.
Maybe
But-
you build on this.
Yeah, but there
they
are
didn't.
other
But-
there are other
Right.
stories that we read that were memories that we still connected with and thought were creepy, like
Which one?
Wide Mouth.
Well, that yeah.
Those
Well,
remember-
Mr. Romeout's a better
It was
story.
a young
yes.
kid,
Yes.
and he was remembering something, and we talked about how all the different possibilities it could be, but we were still far more invested in.
You
that
know what
story.
the difference is in that? I think I feel like I know the difference in Wide Mouth is the way the story's written is that it's presented
Written like a story.
and it's creepy, and the source of tension is that there's this creepy little dude, Wide Mouth, buttering around
to
and being a
kill
weirdie
kids,
and giving the
yeah.
kid knives and stuff. That story adopted a tone of tension. This story,
Right, because there's no the characters in this story, there's no threat to them. They just remember this creepy show when we were kids.
that's what I'm
There's
saying.
no real threat,
is that,
right?
Well,
right.
Wide Mouth was tension based.
Right.
This story is nostalgic. The entirety
Yeah.
of this
Yeah,
reading,
it is, yes.
it's a tone of nostalgia. Remember
Yeah.
that show when we were
Did they go
kids?
over the age of
And
the
they only try to
characters?
twist it to be creepy
Let
in the
me-
last line.
Let me
and it
compare
just
another
doesn't-
story
They
that
were
that
around
hits.
5 to 12 in
No,
71.
in 71, yeah, but what about the age now?
They're in their 50s.
Why does that matter?
It doesn't matter. They're old.
It doesn't
they're
matter
older.
where the story
The
takes
only-
place now. They're
Dylan,
talking about
Dylan, the
that,
only thing
like-
that matters is that these people. I mean, the point is that these people couldn't get together when they were kids. They're getting together now when now the internet's here. But look,
I know,
let me bring up another. Let me quickly bring up.
I'm taking it a little too literally.
Before you
That's
start
what's
with
going
that,
on.
what are you trying to prove with this?
No, I think I'm just taking it a little too literally.
How so?
Like just trying to piece together what their age is and how.
But why is that?
Okay, let me help you.
I
Let
know,
me.
but I
Okay,
think
okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm taking
Dylan, let me help you.
Literally.
Let me help you. Okay, your character was 5. Okay, he was 5 in 1991, which means he's like 45.
No, 1971. 1971.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, okay. So
That was the year I was
that's
born.
like 50 years. That's like 50 more. It's like 50 more years. Add 5.
You don't. Everyone's
You're like almost 60 at this point.
Everyone is
And that's the
teenagers.
youngest. That's the youngest one.
Yeah, right.
He's in his late 50s. That's the youngest guy.
Right.
Everyone else is older than that. So these aren't like youngsters who are. They're just
They're
using
in
an
their
online.
30s or 40s.
Yeah.
Which begs the question: what are these crazy old people doing in chat rooms?
Yeah, I think
Aren't you guys supposed to be doing crosswords and shit? Get off my
Playing
internet.
Sudoku.
Yeah, I like Sudoku. I
do
play
too.
Sudoku.
Okay, let
This
me
podcast was sponsored
All
by
right.
Sudoku.
Sudoku is not anything.
look. All I want to say is this. Let me compare. I mean, I like the way that this story, because this is the way you would talk to somebody if you were talking about
Right.
the memories of a bad. Because let's compare it to another story that tries to have nostalgia. Pokemon Strangled Red.
Do we
that was. Imagine if I told William like, "Hey, William, I just played this really creepy Pokemon game," and William was like, "Yeah, do tell." And I'm like, "Well, first I got a Charmander, and then I went into Brock's gym and I got the Boulder badge, and then I went to Misty's gym and I went to Cerulean City," and it goes like. But no, if this story, if I'm saying, "Hey, William, I just saw this I remember this really creepy TV show. What was it about?" Well, there was this I don't know. I think there was like this pirate thing and Skin Taker maybe.
And
or
then Will
what-
walks out of the room because you're boring him.
Right, exactly. Please don't. Come on. What are you playing?
I forgot to silence my phone.
Oh, who's calling you?
My dad.
Oh.
No,
Okay, all right, this is my only reason. My only reasoning is this. I understand why people like this story a lot.
right. No,
I
agree.
understand it, and I think there's a lot of people who think it's overrated. They're actually, I can show you guys this. Well, actually, after this, on Midnight Marinara, there was a debate between 2 of the people who are usually on the show, Slime Beast and Dead Palette.
Oh shit.
They had a debate about Candle Cove, where Dead Palette defended it and Slime Beast attacked it.
Dun, dun,
You know, so
We
that's-
are disciples of Slime Beast, so when he says,
No, we're
this
not.
story's shit.
No, we're not. No.
No, I understand why people like it too, and I liked it. It's just very vanilla.
Okay, so here. Let me bring this up. Assuming that it's very likely that this is just a short story,
Right.
where it didn't really happen, it was just static or some weird shit,
some
right?
kind of
So
collective
now
conscious-
the question. Now let's go back to what we were discussing earlier. Channel Zero is making 6 episodes based on this.
And if they make it in the present time, it can work.
Now here's the problem. There's no chance that they're going to make 6 episodes based on this story.
It's
They're
gonna
going to
be
make
bullshit.
these characters real.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people do not like
And it's gonna be
don't like the
tropey.
idea of it because it,
Right.
it undermines the whole point.
Wait, what don't they like the idea of?
Because they're
Because it's going to assume that the Candle Cove show is real.
right.
The characters are going to be real rather than just static.
Unless
do you-
they not
Where is-
necessarily.
Has that
What-
been stated?
No, but based on the trailers where it show all the monsters and stuff that are in it, I have to. I mean, I can show you the
here's-
trailers later.
Here's
but-
how
Pirates.
here's how this show could work. If they just air Candle Cove episodes,
That's not happening.
That would be fucking.
I don't think
creepy.
it's happening.
No, and it's not absolutely, but that would be fun. And then the last episode would be that episode, the last episode in the original story. That would be fucking creepy. However, this show is going to have like a character arc where it's like somebody watched it and then they find out a whole bunch of creepy bullshit on the internet and then like the puppets are going to attack them or some shit. It's going to be the tropiest, lamest shit ever. And that's what they're going to do. And
That's why a lot of people.
I'm still going to watch it.
Now there's positives and negatives to Channel Zero. On one hand, it takes creepypastas and puts them in the limelight.
Right.
But on the other hand, people are complaining because, like, take the story for what it is. Okay, like, put your personal feelings aside. Right. This story is one of the most known creepypastas out there.
Is it?
It is, yes.
Weird.
But that
It's
is
popular enough to get its own show.
Apparently, yeah.
yeah.
But 6 episodes.
And listen, like we can discuss our own opinions about the story later. However, the point is,
Just
it
did.
got popular.
Yeah, we've been there.
It got popular on this. It got popular on this story
Right.
with this ending, and a lot of people feel like it's not going to be a good show because it's going to not really
I can
commit
see- I can
to what it
see- I can
is.
see
Right.
why.
You know what? I almost feel like the show has to be an improvement on the story. That's how little I think of the story. I think the
William's
story.
opinion just gets worse and worse.
No, it's not. I mean,
Every episode.
no, I feel like
got a
this.
point.
There's nothing scary. This story.
It doesn't have to be scary. It's creepypasta.
It's not creepy either. As a remotely discomforting story, this is an abject failure. It's written like, oh, guys, remember that? I mean, we've been over it. So, I mean, I feel like this story is completely nostalgic, and they try to, like, twist it and be creepy at the very end, tonally speaking.
There's no catharsis.
And I feel like
there's
there's no sense of pacing, there's no sense of build-up. It's just, remember this creepy story? Oh, crap, we all dreamed it together. That's weird, and then it ends. If you build on that, it could be cool. If you wrote it in the present
It's not a
tense,
dream.
it could be creepy and tension-filled.
Well, whatever. We don't know what it is. It doesn't matter.
I disagree with William up to this point.
If this show takes this concept and puts it in the present, you've already improved upon it. I feel like the fact that they did this 40 years past kind of just sucks all the tension and horror out of it.
Okay, I think you don't have to be scared by creepypasta. You don't have to be.
There needs to be some sense of tension or
He's saying
creepiness.
he feels nothing.
It's
There's
a
nothing.
nostalgic creepy.
I'm not
Maybe not
arguing,
for
I feel
you.
nothing. I
Okay,
don't think
for
there
you it
is
doesn't.
anything.
Okay, fine, fair enough. But do you understand why people might like the story? Do you understand that at least?
This story has a really cool concept, and I feel it was
And it's written well.
executed very poorly.
I
There are
disagree
people
with
that
that.
All
like
right,
Jeff
the,
the Killer,
in
though, John,
terms
so
of
your
like its
argument's
in the
kinda-
term of its writing, it's written well. I feel like the choice of tone and the timing was really poorly executed, and I feel it ends on a weird note that does very little to actually make it a tense, creepy story.
Okay.
And for what it's worth, appealing to the populace, like Dan just said, Jeff the Killer is a pretty
People have really
a seminal work of the internet.
loved
So please don't use the everyone loves it argument, because
No,
that's going
that's
nowhere.
that's a different. That's
Let's
a
see a
different
Jeff
like.
the Killer show.
You've learned.
No.
You've taught us too
No,
much.
no. Jeff the Killer is like a more of a jokey like.
Not for a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
there are
comments
people,
I
you
read about it.
specifically
Fair
said
enough.
people love that story.
Yes.
People
It's true.
unironically love it, which is the scary part.
No, there's a part of me that wants to agree with Will, but I just feel like this is going to be another tropey. I can absolutely see No End House being a 6-episode miniseries. That
I
makes
believe.
sense.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot
That
more sense.
absolutely makes
That
sense.
story's got meat.
Even like a Wide Mouth would make a decent 6-episode run if it's like different kids, maybe even different time periods.
Or
something like
even
that
if
would
you
make
took
sense.
Candle Cove and did one episode on it, or maybe I don't know. I don't understand why it needs 6.
Candle Cove would work as just airing
Honestly,
Candle Cove episodes. That would be fucking.
They need to
creepy.
do like a Goosebump style show where they do fast hits and they do one creepypasta an episode and we just fly through them. That'd be fun.
And then we have the podcast where we read the story and then discuss the episode and compare
Perfect.
it. Yep.
Well,
We're building.
We won't do that, but listen.
We're not gonna do episodes about the show.
You don't want to do
I
like.
feel like we need to.
It's something I might be planning on doing, but it's something separate from this.
Oh, with someone else. I see how it is.
No, it's not. I'm running that. I'm not announcing anything yet, guys. But yeah, for fuck's sake, honestly, whatever. Will.
John's on this.
Look, listen.
Trainer.
I don't fully agree with what I understand what William's coming from. I didn't think William would like the story heading into it, to be honest. But I think that the story is well written. I think that the story can, for what it is good as what it is. And I think it's good. I don't think it deserves to be as popular as it is. That's my last sense on it. But my point is that I understand why they would try to do this. I'm happy that they're trying to make creepypasta into this and try to showcase it. But it depends how they do it.
Well,
I'm way more optimistic about the No End House thing.
Yeah.
That I'm more optimistic about
American
because you
horror's
can.
dead, John. So I mean, it really is.
Fair enough. Dylan, you have anything?
I mean, it does provoke, like, if you noticed from our conversation, it does provoke, like, what ifs, if it's a little bit longer, if it's a bit shorter and stuff.
Yeah, we're
Like,
having
it,
a discussion.
like, it provokes it's been provoking our minds on whether or not what we could add, what we can't add. I mean, I didn't, like Will, I didn't really find it at all creepy at all. It just was like, eh.
I mean, fair enough. That's why
it had like a dull. It was like dull the entire time. It was like
I'm on the fence. I really am. I'm literally just sitting on the fence because
I kind of more on.
I agree with John, but I also agree with Will, where it's like
you can see both sides.
Right. This is the most divisive story we've read because I don't know if I like it or not. I might have to read it again or mull it over. And listen back to this.
It did so much non-build up. It managed to set the stage really well conceptually for the first 99 hundredths of the story, and it did it in a nostalgic way, and there was nothing really creepy outside. I mean, you can describe the story, and that sounded weird, but they set it so far in the past that it just didn't seem like a real threat or any sort of disturbing thing.
Maybe.
Then the last sentence was like, oh shit, it's real, but it wasn't intense enough a twist to salvage the first part. They needed to double down and
maybe if there was
more at the end
if
there.
If there was something along the lines of where one of them started actually
crying.
No. What?
Like the logo.
Yes,
the logo.
crying through the internet. No.
Puts asterisks cry.
What I was going to suggest
Jaden,
is that
Kevin Hart cries.
Tears flowed down my face.
If one of them did more research on it and started posting in the forum, I think that would be the only way to add a little bit more to the story, to add a little bit more backstory. They found other people talking about it, or they found
the dreams
maybe
come
a
back
clip somewhere, or
they start dreaming it again,
or the more they talk about it, the more they remember, or even one of them sees an episode.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Now,
I thought that's where it was going.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to start. It was going to pull an It, and they would have to get back into it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is what the show might do.
They had a picture of the skeleton with his head jaw going
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
And for what it's
the
worth,
skin take.
It makes me think of the story we just recently read, Autopilot.
The last podcast,
where nothing creepy happened in that up until the very end.
Here we go.
But that twisted it. No, not even. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I enjoyed that very much as a story, and I feel that at the very end twisted it, made it creepy, made it unsettling, and absolutely did that well. That managed to have a very mundane build-up and executed a twist at the end to make it disturbing.
But like we talked about in the last story, that was a authorial intent. Where it was supposed to be mundane on purpose to get your mind
exactly. But right, you're right. I feel like this guy didn't think he was being mundane.
No. But I don't think this story is using that mundanity.
Exactly.
I want to agree with you that it's more of a nostalgia trip, but I also agree with John, where it's I get why it's creepy. The payoff, I know you don't think the payoff is enough considering everything before it, but I think the story is fine. It's just fine. It's just fine.
Too much time
I talked about Dusty's radio show. It's just fine.
I mean, it's written better than a decent chunk of what we've had to suffer through.
But it's
short, which is
fair enough.
And it didn't make us hurt by dragging us through the
too
mud.
much time has passed for it to be.
All right, we try to get through our last arguments. Okay, so whatever. I give it a meh. I give it a good. It's
give
good.
it a 5-6 pumpkins out of 10.
I give it a 7 if I had to rate it.
Already, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's a rock hard 5 pumpkins.
Well, this has been the Scary Friends podcast. I hope you enjoyed. So, this has been me, Skillfully, along with William, Daniel, and Dylan. So stay awesome, and always remember to scare your friends.
Accidentally grab his leg instead of the gear stick. We both laugh as I unzip his pants. Park the car while fondling his balls. Friend is laughing because he knows it's just a joke. Start sucking his dick on this empty parking lot. Almost choke on his dick because I'm laughing so hard. Friend is laughing his ass off. He starts making train noises, yelling, "Bro job, choo choo." He comes and I swallow like some stupid faggot. Kiss my friend and call him a faggot while laughing. Gotta love playing pranks on my friends. Phenomenal.
That's where Bro Jobs comes from?
Yeah!
That was the name for our goddamn Rocket League team, John! What the fuck?
No, that was
is-
Hard Dudes.
Oh, it's Hard Dudes.
We were
you're right.
Hard Dudes.
That is the...
Whoa!
Well,
the genesis of one of the finest things on the internet.
I think what I'll do is
It's like that Jean Lajoie video where, like, they do the prank war with his friend, and then he dresses up like a girl, and his friend fucks him. And he's like, haha, surprise, it was me the whole time. He goes, yeah, I know. You can't get one over on me. It's just like... And then just sit on the couch and he's still in like the girl dress and he's like, "You fucked me," and that's how the video ends.